Today I'm going to be talking about if car robberies would be a good idea for emergency response Liberty County. So if you do enjoy this video, please do make sure you drop a like and also subscribe, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so car robberies in ERLC have been a talked about thing for a long time. It's never been a massively highly requested thing, but it's always been something that everyone's kind of spoken about. Everyone's always said, oh yeah, that would be really cool. We've never had any leaks about anything. The developers have never said they will or they won't add it. They did speak many years ago in a little interview they did about something which I will go over later on in this video. But yeah, car robberies have been a thing that everyone wants, but they've just never been like crazy that people have really actually thought about it properly. So car robberies would bring a lot of good features but also a lot of problems, and the first thing I guess is the first problem, the lag. So ERLC works in a way where every player can spawn in one car. You can't spawn in more than one car, and there's 40 people in a server now after the summer update, so that's a maximum of 40 cars in the game, and that would lag a lot. You very rarely see every single person with a car spawned in, and if you've ever been to a YouTuber live stream or something, you'll know that at civilian spawn when they join in, everyone's got the escort there. It's always really laggy, and that's because there's 20 or 30 cars all by civilian spawn. So if you imagine all 40, that's never even 40. If you imagine every single person with a car there, that would be crazy. And then if car robberies happened, then you would have to spawn in more than one car. So technically, not everyone would rob a car, but it could be 50, 60 cars in one server, which is crazy because you also have to consider there's cars like these ones over here, these little AI cars. These aren't real people. I'm the only person in this server. These AI cars that you can walk up to and buy, and these are just normal cars. If I was to buy this right now, I don't know if I already own it. Yeah, if I was to buy it right now, you see it spawns it in right here. So this is just a completely another car that is there. By the way, if you want to buy cars, make sure you buy them from there because you get a discount. I did a full video on that, check it out. But yes, lag is the main problem, and this is what they spoke about in a little interview. Someone asked them the question a couple of years ago now. It was quite a while ago. I don't remember it properly, but I do remember it being said, and they I think it was Shawnee G. He said that it would cause quite a lot of lag and that they don't have any plans to at that moment. Like I said, that was 2 years ago, so we don't know what the situation is at the moment, but I do agree it would cause a lot of lag. And now they've increased the server size. You can see there's 2 more cars right next to each other here as well. So, and now they've increased the server size, it will just make it a little bit too laggy almost, I think, with 40 players as well as car robberies, would be a little bit laggy. The next problem is that it would be unfair for the rich players, because if I was in this car and there was a criminal gang, they're not going to come and steal my car. They don't want this car. It's nothing special compared to the Bugatti. They'll see it, they'll be like, no, we're not bothered. Whereas if there's a rich guy with a Bugatti over there, obviously they're going to go and steal the Bugatti because it's worth a whole lot more, so they'll want it a lot more, and you'll probably get more money from it. So it will be unfair for the rich people because they'll always spawn in their Bugatti or their McLaren and they'll get it robbed all the time, whereas the poor people or the people that aren't as rich and haven't played as long will drive around in their normal cars and be completely fine. So it will just make it harder and more unfair for people that have nice cars in the game. However, let's move on to some of the good features about car robberies. So the first one is obviously it is very unique. There is not really any game on Roblox that has car robberies in that way that ERLC would do them. So of course, very unique. It will bring in more players to the game. They can advertise it a lot more. Car robberies in a Roblox game, that's really cool because no one has it, and I can't think of a game off the top of my head right now that does have car robberies. And by car robberies, I don't mean cars that you can just jump in and drive off. I mean similar to how you rob a house where you walk up and you lockpick the door, and I'll talk about how they can maybe implement that system in just a moment. But like I said, it's very unique, so it would be very cool to add. The next good feature is obviously it's a new robbery, so good for money. You can get more money as a criminal, more uniqueness in your robberies, so criminals aren't just robbing the same thing over and over again. And of course, you can rob each car, each different car, and maybe each car you do rob can have special features or something. Maybe it's harder to get into a Bugatti than it is into a car like this, and you'll get more money from a Bugatti than a car like this. I don't know, I think that would be really, really cool. And the final good feature about this, or well, one of the main ones that I thought of, was you would be able to test drive cars in a way. If you're stealing a car, if you see a Bugatti and you manage to steal it, you'll get to drive it around for a little bit, which would be really, really cool. Of course, that would be very nice to, if you don't, because you can't test drive cars, so if you're debating on buying it, I guess you could go and steal one and test drive someone else's, and just do it that way, I guess. But like I said, I'm not sure how the system will actually work. So let's talk about how the system could actually work. So I mentioned earlier about how it could be like harder depending on the price of the car, and I think that would probably be the only way they did it. Surely they wouldn't make it the same level of easiness with a Bugatti than like a Chevrolet Impala, because like no one wants a Chevrolet Impala, everyone has it for free already. And also, would there have to be limits to each car, like how many times you can rob each car in a server, or what cars you can rob? Surely if you can rob the Bugatti, it might be a bit too OP, so maybe they would have to kind of do something about that. And also, when you rob them, are you able to actually drive them, or can you just steal them? And also, how would the police go about it? Would there be like a report? Would you have to phone the police and put like a stolen car report, or would it say? Would they be able to like use CCTV maybe on the MDT, like with some AIs where you can walk up to them in the shop, for example, and view the CCTV and see what happened? Maybe. I think that would be pretty cool. A lot more interactive that would be, which is of course very, very cool. And then maybe they can even track like the license plate and then go and find the car and arrest the person that actually stole it. I think that would be pretty cool. And of course they would probably have to limit it to like one car stolen like in each server, and probably add like a time limit as well, because otherwise the police would just be chasing around like 5 different cars that have all been stolen, and it would be crazy. It would be like the Purge in ERLC. It would be insane. Now, the final thing that I do want to talk about is possibly car robberies, but not with real players' cars. So obviously, including it with real players would be really difficult. Like, how would they rob it and then implement the system where you can like get in and drive away in someone else's car that isn't yours? ERLC doesn't really allow that at the moment, so they would have to like redevelop a whole system. But I'm thinking with these AI cars. So like you've seen throughout this video, there's loads of these parked around the map. Now maybe stealing these would be nice, because then there could be like an AI system where like we can do like the owner of the car that's selling it like makes a report to the police. Like as soon as you steal it, like the police get notified that you've robbed it by like the owner, who would just be like an AI character obviously, and it would go through on the MDT, and you can drive around and it would say the color, the license plate, everything like that. And it would just be much easier to steal these cars instead of other ones, because they wouldn't need to spawn in any more cars. If it was a player's car, then they would have to like spawn in like 2 cars, one for the player and the same player that just had their car stolen, if that makes sense. But if they use these are just spawned in around the map anyway, so maybe you could just come up to one of these and like lockpick the door or something and then drive off in it, and then maybe do it that way and you get some money for it or something if you can sell it maybe. I think that would probably be the best way that they could do it. I think that would also be really, really cool. So let me know in the comments what you think about car robberies coming to ERLC. Do you think it'll be a good idea? I definitely think it will be. And that is all for this video, but thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out everything else from the description. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AmazePlays_. But hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.